talks to deer. Hey, we're going to check this out right now when we go out in the open. Out in the Open is brought to you by Dunkelberger Sports Outfitters, Mountain View Realty, the Lake Region, Greentown, Van Gorder's Furniture in Honesdale, and on Lake Wallenpaupack across from the high school, and Lighthouse Harbor Marina on Lake Wallenpaupack. And we can store it indoors or out. We also have boats and Bennington pontoon boats at Lighthouse Harbor Marina. We're open every day for your convenience. Hey folks, welcome to this edition of Out in the Open. I'm Alex Zedok.
And I'm Joanne Zedok. And we're coming to you from Dunkelberger's on Main Street in Stroudsburg.
Big
nice
celebration.
Day today, huh?
Yeah, nice day. Big celebration. Mm-hmm. I mean, people out all over. 40th anniversary.
Can you imagine 40th anniversary?
Yeah. And we have a big 40th anniversary sale. 16 pages of it.
Ooh, 16 pages.
I mean, everything from guns in the front to crossbows in the back and everything in between.
Do you know what I saw here?
Wow.
It says they have a new website. It's dunkelbergers.com.
Where you can find everything on the website,
all
too.
the new things there, too.
New website, new logo.
Another thing I thought was really interesting is this.
Hey, we got Will Daskal on, and he's a local artist of some repute. I mean, he's gained a reputation, got some nice work he does. And an avid turkey and deer hunter. And Will says he talks to deer, and he gets out in the woods, he calls deer using his own voice. So we're going to see what happens with that. So that'll be interesting.
It'll be very interesting.
All right, folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Come.
Hey folks, welcome back to Out in the Open. With me is Will Daskal, and Will is known for his art and art classes, among other things. Very involved with the Broadhead chapter of Trout Unlimited. You know, we're going to get into this deer hunting thing because I know you're an avid deer hunter and turkey hunter and whatever else. We've got so much to cover. But very briefly, if somebody was going to take a course from you, an art course from you somewhere, this is just an example of something that you might teach in an art course, right?
Actually, these are paintings that are going on in a class that I teach on Monday here in Stroudsburg. Okay. Actually, a block away.
Okay. And actually what we're going to show is this is the first painting. Now, just describe this.
This is what we call an underpainting. This is a winter snow scene, believe it or not. So the oranges are there to provide a nice contrapuntal visual effect when the blue shadow of the snow goes in. Okay. And anything that's orange is eventually going to be blue later on.
Okay. And so like on the second one here, we can leave this right here.
Right.
The second one right here, we show a little bit. I'm going to point right down here in the corner because you pointed this out to me. So you can see a little bit of the orange right down in the corner.
And if you get that little bit of orange, it makes the blue look even brighter. And that's the reason why we do the underpaintings.
Okay. And what do you call the type of art that you teach?
You know, I call it impressionistic art because I was greatly influenced by the French Impressionists in New York where I grew up and going to the museums there.
Okay, and that takes us into deer hunting because you grew up in New York.
I grew up as a kid on as I said the last time I was here, on a chicken farm in the Catskills, and I had this rare opportunity of being able to go out early in the morning because my parents went to the city to work, left my brother and I to fend for ourselves. So everyone would sleep late. I'd get up before the crack of dawn, go out, take walks in the woods, and I learned all about the habits of the deer. I listened to their sounds. I learned about getting close to them and how to work the wind. And this is all before scent and scent-free clothing and all of those things. And by the way, I don't use scent-free clothing, even today.
You know, Joanne doesn't either. Her scent is probably some of the most expensive perfume that, and you know what? That's a scent. I mean, when you think about it, you know, people go out and they buy. They come here to Dunkelberger's. There's a lot of scent for sale.
Yes.
And so people buy scent to cover up the human odor.
And I don't decry that. And what I do works for me. If the average hunter doesn't have the time and opportunity to do the amount of preseason scouting that I do, because you know, when you called me to do this show, I was in the woods with a doe.
On your cell phone, yeah.
On the cell phone, I had to whisper to you. But if you don't have the opportunity to really go out and do the preseason scouting, then use anything you can, whether it's scent-free detergent, if it's a cover scent, if it's deer lure, use whatever works, because if your time in the woods is limited, we want you to be successful.
Joanne likes Shalimar, and that, and that's what she wears. I mean, that's what she does. I mean, when Joanne gets up and goes hunting, she dresses like she's going to do the show here.
I just use scent-free soap, and all my clothes all year long are washed in scent-free detergent.
But I know some people who carry a garbage bag, and they carry their hunting clothes in a garbage bag, including their underwear, and they approach the woods and they strip down, change all their clothes.
That was me 20 years ago.
Before they go to their stand.
I used to do that.
Did you really?
Yes, I used to do that religiously. And one of the things I learned from a hunter in Buffalo is he would put the cow manure, when he was hunting farms, cow manure into the bag, and that would be a natural cover scent. The only thing I spray my clothing with is tick repellent, because, I mean, I came home Saturday night after killing that buck. Even though I was covered with tick repellent, I still had 2 ticks on me when I came into the house. So Barbara makes me strip on the front porch, put everything in a bag, and go right into the shower. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a necessity nowadays with, with ticks and the diseases from ticks, because a lot of people are getting sick from them. All right, so you're saying that you should take precautions with scent, and scent is important, but really the wind is important, right? To me, the deer has basically 3 weapons. It has this, it has this, and it has this. I can overcome this. I can overcome this. I cannot overcome this unless I work the wind. The deer's ability to smell, it far exceeds anything that a human being has. So I'm very meticulous in keeping constantly aware of what the wind direction is. So what I do is I take 3 old arrows with me when I set up on a location. From my stand position, I will put the first one out 20 yards, another one 30 yards, one at 40 yards, because I'll never take a shot past 40, and usually 30 is my limit. On each one of those arrows, I will tie 12-aught fly tying thread with a little piece of marabou, and that's my wind indicator. I'll have a puff bottle with me sometimes, but I don't carry anything that doesn't fit into my hunting bag. One bag, if it doesn't fit in, then I don't need it. I'm watching those little puffs of marabou. As long as I know what the wind direction is going to be when I set out, if the marabou tells me that it's still constant, my position is good. If there's a sudden shift, then I have to shift my position, because the wind makes the deer make a different approach. If you're sitting for a few hours, I mean, if you're I still hunt. I walk a lot, during the day. Right. Not in the morning or in the evening, but during the daytime or whatever, I walk a lot. But when it gets to be that last hour, I sit. Now, if I sit and I've got a situation where the wind changes, I'm not going to get up and move. I'm going to take my chances. Well, when I was hunting in the Catskills, I had the advantage of having over 500 acres to hunt alone, family property and neighbor's property. Here in the Poconos, it's different. I have one small area that I have the right to hunt on, so I can still hunt. If I could hunt any way I wanted to, I would track one set of tracks until I found that buck and figured out its habit.